Hello, I'm RJB, and today we're gonna look at some people trying to murder each other in a King of the Hill hosted by Hamburger Sasu somewhere back in February of this year, 2021. These are all names that I haven't seen before, so this is gonna be full of surprises. We've got the player Dead Dog, spelled wrong, on the white circuit on the bottom right of the map, and team player here on the other side of the map on the green Terran. So we got Terran against Zerg. This is going to be the first match in this King of the Hill extravaganza. I'm not sure what to expect. Just wanted to do something slightly different from usual because kind of repetitive sometimes when you just host the same players against the same players with the same format, best of 1, best of 3, best of 5. It kind of all starts looking the same. So some variety. Was about time that I started to throw some of that in. So Dead Dog here starts off with a just a choke there in the front. Choke in the front, hatchery, and then a pool. So double hatchery into a pool. That is a different order than usual. He gets a third hatchery. This guy is a madman. And the gas there finally coming up as well. So triple hatchery before he gets his first sunken there in the choke. That is, let's call it very, very risky and spicy. Something you wouldn't see most people do because they have, I don't know, I don't want to call him brainless, but this is risky. This is very, very ballsy. I don't think as many people as this guy have the balls to do it. This is the first time I'm seeing it. The first time I'm seeing someone have this many balls as a Zerg. But it works, because the Sunken is up there in the front, and but only because team player went for a command center first. If team player didn't go for the command center, Dead Dog would have been a deader dog, because, well, there's nothing that he can do to defend himself against an early Terran rush with this build order. But there is no Terran rush, so it's all working out just completely fine. He's reaping all the benefits of that very risky opening. Although at the moment he's not adding on any more Sunkens, and that might actually spell some trouble because it looks like team player is looking to start punching down the front door with the tank push. He's building the factory all the way in the middle of the map, very far away from his base to compensate for the massive amount of distance that you get in a cross-map situation. So he's just closing the distance with the factory there on the middle, slowly adding Marines into the mix there as the Marines are rallied here towards this point there on the middle of the map, just so he doesn't have to send them there manually. He's got Academy there on the way with Stim upgrade. We've got Zergling speed there on the way for Dead Dog. So he's definitely going for some Zergling action. Second Sunken there coming up in the front. Lair is finished. We've got a Spire on the way as well. This is going to be Zergling speed action alongside Mulisks with some great Muta Micro, or so I hope. That is, of course, if team player doesn't break through the front door too early, because there's still only 2 Sunkens there in the front, and 2 Sunkens, as I said before. It's stronger than 1 Sunken, but it's still definitely not enough. Like, it's not enough by a large margin. Just 2 Sunkens in the choke are not going to do much. It looks like Dead Dog is trying to set up something of a counter-attack, because maybe there's a chance that because team player will only see 2 Sunkens in the choke, that he's going to... Oh no, he's not even waiting. He's just going for it right here, right now. He's not even waiting. Very quick and good response from team player. Sends Marines to a very safe location. Blocks the Zergs with the medics by accident. But that just happens to completely ruin the fight for Dead Dog. Dead Dog just completely, with some bad luck. Maybe that was intended. I'm not sure if team player intended to block the Zergs with his 2 medics. But it worked out amazingly well. It was a very quick reaction. Great awareness. And just saved his skin by doing that. He saved the game by doing that, because he most certainly would have lost all his Marines there if that didn't play out as it did right there. But great awareness. Dead Dog there has got some Mutalisks on the way, but only 2 Sunkens in the front. He's trying to bait those Zerglings into attacking the Marines and the tank. Loses only a single Zergling because he too is playing with great awareness. He's not really gonna let himself fall to something small like that. But it's time to make the call. Steam player here is moving forward, siege is up, and it's going to take down those 2 Sunkens. And he doesn't have to wait for both Sunkens to go down, he can wait for a single one to go down and stim his way to victory. There's a small chance, though, that these Mulists there are going to just kill it very easily on the counter-attack. Although he's flying away from his base, he's flying to the side. He's going to try to micro that tank death. Get some good shots on the tank. The tank went down. That's actually really, really good. Reducing the amount of tanks is going to let those Zerglings come in much easier. But the raid there on the top side is being very annoying. Turrets that are being built inside this pathway are also going to make it Mutant Micro very hard. Plus that raid giving vision upon the hill is going to make Mutant Micro on those hills very difficult to pull off. Because now the Marines can fire back because there's vision. Without the vision on the hill provided by the raid, the Mutalisk would very easily be able to pick off those units there inside that pathway here. But without it, with it, it's very difficult. He's trying to make as many units as he can, but now Team Player sees a hole, sees an opening, and just stims right in. A lot of Marines there on the side. They're going to take down the Zerg. Well, the Mutalisk are actually doing quite a good job, but mostly the Sunken's going down to the Marines very quick. There's medics there in the back, not moving, still in the whole position, but the medics here, alongside the Marines, are in the base, and that's a lot of Marines there. He didn't wait to take down the front door, he just found a hole to abuse and went in right there and went in hard with all his force, his entire force, a massive force, and there, taking down the Mutalisk, and this looks like it is GG because he's focusing down the drones. Zerglings are spawning, but Zerglings are spawning too late. Mutalisk can't really fight back, and a stim attack here from Team Player is very easily putting an end to this first match in this King of the Hill series, where Team Player evidently proves himself to be the better player. That dog had some very risky moves that could have resulted in him gaining an advantage, but in the end the advantage is not there because Team Player did something likewise. The one command center opening from Team Player really gave him the economic boost that he needed to kind of offset the economic boost that Team Player gave, that dog gave himself. They went for 6 barracks in total there back at home, 1 factory, 2 starports, and 1 science facility. No science vessels yet, nothing too crazy, just a massive marine ball assisted by a couple tanks and medics breaking to the front and killing stuff in the back. Very quick game. Very, very quick game, and very unfortunate for that dog that it played out like it did. Would have liked to see him have a little bit of a better fight, to have a little bit of a better game against Team Player, but it wasn't meant to be. That's just the way things roll sometimes. Sometimes things just don't go your way. So Team Player stays in the driver's seat, and he is now against the player Coup Angel. Coup Angel. Coup Angel replaces the dead dog. Let's see how Coup Angel is going to handle himself. He's now on the Terran here, and Team Player is on the Pale Blue Zerg. Pale Blue Zerg. On the middle left of the map and the bottom middle of the map, Coup Angel on the orange Terran. Let's see what Coup Angel has up his sleeve. Is Team Player as good at Zerg as he is at Terran, or is he going to fall flat on his nose, just like his opponent did in the previous game? The opening here is promising because this is just the standard opening from Coup Angel. Team Player started with a hatchery in the choke, might go for a pool first, or maybe he's going to go for a hatchery second, just like that dog did last game. Now Team Player is a little bit smarter, a little bit less ballsy. He goes for a safer option, goes for 9 hatchery, 9 pool, instead of 9 hatchery, 9 hatchery, 9 pool, which is what that dog did last game, which just delays the Sunken by so much time. Basically, it relies on your opponent not rushing, and that, you know, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. It's basically a cheese. Cheese is gamble. Right, so the barracks is finished. Marine is on the way. 2 more barracks is being added on. SV is scouting towards the left side first, so this SV will find Team Player's choke quite early on. Depending on whether Coup Angel scouts the entire base or just the chokes, he's going all the way in. He's going all the way in. He's not going all the way in. He's kind of going in, but not all the way. Like, he wouldn't be able to know if Team Player was here on this spawn location, because the creep usually would be around here if he didn't go for a choke build order, but for a non-choke build order. But he manages to find Team Player here nonetheless. There's no creep colony there being morphed yet. He's a little bit slow on that one. Marine already on the way. Ooh, yeah, he's very slow with that first Sunken there. Already has gas mining, though. That's a very extremely stupidly early gas he's got there in the back. He's pretty much got no drones mining minerals at the moment. Only 4 of them in total, which does tell me he's up to something that is aggressive. Probably a cheese attempt coming out from team player. Probably a cheese attempt. Lair is on the way. Sunkens in the front aren't morphing yet. He's now finally deciding to add on more drones. The bunkers are going to go down. Marines here are getting torn to shreds by Zerglings, but the Zerglings eventually do lose the fight as the SCV assists the Marines in taking down those Zerglings. And SCVs have quite a nice amount of damage. Got 5 damage, almost the same amount of damage as a Marine does. Almost the same amount of damage. Almost the same amount. Yeah, Sunken there in the front has finished. Lair is on the way. We don't have a den yet, but he can't afford it because he has 10 drones in total, 7 of which are on the minerals, 3 are mining gas. That is, I'll be honest, I don't really like the fact that he went for his gas that extremely early. His lair will finish very quick, that is true. We'll have a very fast lair, but he will also be kind of broke forever until like 8 minutes in. Which means he has to go for a somewhat very aggressive build order. Going for a very early Spire, it's not even 4 minutes and his Spire is already morphing. I think he started at about 350. That's probably the earliest Spire I've seen so far, out of the like 1,000, maybe 1,500 replays I've watched so far. That's very quick. I'll give you that. That's very quick. He's getting Zergling speed as well. He's practically doing the same thing as Dead Dog did last game. Going Zerglings and Mulisks. Although, I do have to admit, team players' build order is more all-in, whereas Dead Dog's build order was more about getting rich. It was more an economy build order that was hoping to catch his opponent off guard. Here, team player is just going to go all-in with a very small economy. He's now adding a lot of drones though, but still, it took him a while to get to this point of 23 drones. So he saves up a bunch of larvae so he can start making Mulisks. He's getting his additional gas a little bit late because at the moment he's only on 450 gas and his Spire is finishing soon. And I think he'll need about 700 gas to get all of the larvae that he currently has available. He gets 5. Gonna take a little while longer before he gets number 6, 7, and 8. Marines are already balling up there in the front. They're going to try to barge through the front door, and honestly, they do have a chance to do it because there's only 3 Sunkens. There's 6 medics. There's no 4th Sunken there yet. More medics are on the way, but the Mules are finishing as well, and if Cool Angel decides to go in, right when those Mulisks spawn and are ready for combat, he might just lose the fight here in the front if he decides to stim his way through those Sunkens. There's also some Zerglings. Ooh, he's going straight for the supply route, but there's nothing currently being sent out across the map into the middle. Oh, he goes for the fight. Zerglings are there. He's gonna get straight on top of those Sunkens, and now the Mules coming in from the bottom side, gonna snipe those Marines. Marines are getting taken down by Zerglings and Mules on the side there, but the Marines are still doing a great job of stimming through the Sunkens, and they do actually kill the Sunkens, but it's so slow. It's such a slow process. Oh no, it's going wrong here for... Oh, it's going wrong for Coup Angel there. Coup Angel, something went wrong. The Marines just took such a long... I think he forgot to re-stim his Marines. And that ended up with the Sunkens going down a little bit too slow. Just a little bit too slow. And he doesn't break through the choke. There's still a Sunken there alive. Zerglings are also spawning. And now his Marine count is practically reduced to a very small fraction of what it used to be. And that Immutus can start picking up those Marines there from the side, flying in, weaving in and out, bit by bit, taking them down. So more Zerglings are on the way. Team player really is going for an all-in here. He's making a lot of Mulisks, a lot of Zerglings. He has no other option than to do exactly this. Because he only has 18 drones. Going for a Hive and Hive tech would take too long, because then Coup Angel will be able to rebuild. He has to strike now and use the advantage from having all those dead Marines on his doorsteps, signaling him to start going for some aggression. And actually there's a good chance here because there's 6 Marines at the moment alive. No medics, although the medics are still there on the middle but not in the base. Got 2 turrets there in the back of the bunker as well, 2 turrets there on the side. But it looks like Coup Angel has practically no army against this ball of Mules that are flying in and out, killing stuff left and right. Although he's losing him at the moment though. Hive there is still on the way. More Zerkers are spawning as well. Oh, he's gonna go for the attack there. He's gonna try to end this before Ku Angel recovers from the loss of his army. Zerkers coming in from the left side. Gonna go for the turrets to take down the turrets. So to allow the Mutas to fight. Zerkers coming in from left and right. Mutas hunting for Marines. Zerkers getting on top of the Marines. Everything is getting on top of the Marines, and everything is penetrating through into the base. And now it looks like Ku Angel practically has nothing left. He overstepped his boundaries, and now the team player is very wisely abusing that opening, that window of opportunity to take home the win here, because this is definitely going to turn into a win. And I don't see any fire bats to take down those Zerkings, but if he makes fire bats, those fire bats are going to die to the Mulist. He practically has no viable unit option remaining, and the game goes to team player, who wins the game in 8 minutes and 23 seconds. With an all-in attack as the Zerg, and a small little bit of an overreach from Ku Angel, who stepped a little bit too deep into the lion's den and got punished for it. He got eaten alive, and Ku Angel wins his second game. I mean, team player wins his second game and remains the king of the hill. He remains the king of the hill, so let's search for replay number 3. Replay number 3 is against the player, let me find out. It's loading. The player overrode control. Overrode control against team player. I don't know who overrode control is. I do know who overload control is, with an L. This time it's with an R. Overload control used to be Lee Bakgu, but I don't think overrode control is Lee Bakgu. It might be Lee Bakgu, but I don't know. I just don't know. These are all strangers to me, for as far as I know. Team player again on the red Zerg, here on the bottom left of the map, and we've got overrode control. I'm just going to call him Over, or whatever comes to mind when I'm talking about him. I'm not going to be very consistent with calling him overrode control. It's a little bit too long of a name. You're on the yellow Terran. And let's see what he's up to. Starts with a depot. Alright, so he's starting off with a little bit of a more conservative build order than what most players go for when they get Terran on the Korean map. Most of the time they go for 8 barracks and a 9 supply depot. This time around it's a 8 supply depot, 9 barracks, 10 barracks, and an 11 barracks. Come on, barracks, come on. There's the 11 barracks. Made it. Small little detail. Most of the time, people go for a 12 barracks. They're 12 SCV. Well, the supply that spawns on 12 supply. The SCV that spawns on 12 supply. That's how I meant to say it. This person pulled one SCV off his minerals before he got 12 supply and put the barracks down on 11.9 supply. Just before the 12th supply SCV spawned. It's a redundant little detail, but you know, it's something that you might want to try yourself to, instead of waiting for 12 SCVs, start your barrack on 11. I'm not sure if things get derailed in terms of how your build order progresses afterwards, because you do miss out on about 16 or maybe 8 minerals from pulling the SCV off the minerals a little bit earlier than if you waited for that SCV to spawn. That aside though, team players got a sunken mid choke on the way. Already at a gas in the back there as well, just like in the last game. But in this game, he is not forced to oversunk in the choke because of a bunker being built there on his hatchery in the front. So he has a couple more drones on his back here on the minerals than he had in the previous game. Previous game he had about 4 mining, now he has 8 of them mining. There's number 8. He's got 13 drones in total, 2 more being added on for 10 drones mining. It looks like team players' economy is in a way better place than it was last game. And he won the last game, so honestly I have pretty high hopes. Although overrode control might not be the kind of player to go for an all-in suicide mission on those sunkens there in the choke. Because that is kind of the whole point, the whole thing that allowed team player to win against Ku Angel. Overrode control though is going for that famous factory here in the middle. Team player sees it with his overlord. Let's see what team player's response is going to be. First, a third sunken. Lair's still on the way, so we don't know whether he's going to go for a Hylas Den. Although a Hylas Den, he would have already started it. So it has to be a Spire. It has to be Mulisk Micro That's going to be his option and his choice of attack or defense. He can't afford it yet, but it will be up and coming very soon. So as a 4 sunken there, factory is finished, machine shop is on the way, starport also being placed. Wait, no, that's an engineering bay. Not going for the starport yet, goes for the engineering bay first. Fire bats being added on to the army here in the front. He's gonna try to stim through, but once he sees it as 4 sunkens, he's gonna try it anyway. No, he's gonna turn back. He's gonna turn back. He knows this is a done deal. This is a lost cause, so he turns around, turns tail, and preserves his units for yet another fight in the future. He knows and realizes that I gotta maybe pull back here for now. So Overroad Control has his engineering bay finished up. Got a starport on the way. Ooh, he's gonna kill that Overlord there up on the hill. That's... Oh yeah, never. Is he gonna get it? Oh, he's stimming around the hill. Overlord's gonna go down, and losing the Overlord is not gonna supply block team player, but is going to limit the amount of units he can make when his Spire finishes, because now he has to make another Overlord while only having 8 open supply available. So he won't be able to make more than 4 Mutalisks. Yeah, he makes 4 of them. If he had an Overlord, he could make... Well, he could make 7 of them, which would have been better than 4. Now he has to wait a very long time. And during that very long time, this siege tank is going to take down some of those sunkens and open up a path into the base. He's very quickly scrambling some drones to the front to try and add more sunkens to at least buy more time for his Overlord to finish and for his additional Mutalisks to finish. He can make 6 of them because he has 600 gas, but only 2. Oh, he's got way too many drones on the gas there in the back. His income is very, very, very low. He has, I think, about 12. He's got 10 drones mining. His income is extremely low. Extremely low because he's got 9 drones mining gas. As you can see, he's got 700, almost 800 gas that he cannot spend because he's got too many drones on the gas. He simply doesn't have the money to use his gas. So a small little bit of a misplanning there from team player. Small mistake that's going to end up in him maybe losing the game, as long as Overroad doesn't lose his Marines right here, right now. He's very calmly keeping them on hold position around his tank to protect his tank. So he's not going to lose them for sure. Mule is going to try to come in and try to peel at the outer layers there of Overroad's army. So there's a wide opening on the bottom side here. A wide opening. Overroad stims in. This is a repeat of game number 1 where team player beat that dog. And now team Overroad Control is stimming in through the bottom side. They're going to take down those sunkers there in the front and also losing his Marines. Actually, is this going to be a turnaround? Is team player going to win this one? Or is Overroad safe? I really like the fact that Overroad is putting an engineering bay over his tank so that team player cannot focus down the tank with a manual attack click. Goes in. I'll try to take down those Marines. Marines are stimming in. Marines are going to be kept alive for longer than they should be, but oh yeah, the Marines are really doing a number on those Mutalisks. The medics are keeping them alive for a very long amount of time. Oh no, that Marine there in the back stays alive. Marines coming in. Oh no, team player, you're making a really big mistake here. More circles are coming in. They're going to try to get us around on the tanks and the Marines, but the medics are blocking the Marines once again. Can't get on top of them. The fight is not going how team player had it in mind. It was very close to being a win for team player there, but nothing just seems to be going his way this game. Another Overlord goes down. Zerka's going in once again. Marine's going to try to defend for as best that they can. The tanks are going to take it down though. In the end, all the Marines once again. Oh, the medics keeping the Marines alive again and again. And the Mulists all get taken down. Zerkling's gonna try to keep the game alive. His last attempt at trying to make this work. The Sunkers finished just in time. Impeccable timing. This is such a great fight that's been going on so far. But as the fight goes on, Overall Control's SCV count keeps growing. His army keeps growing. Whereas Team Player is still stuck on 18 drones. We've raided on the way there for the vessel. He's scouting ahead, looking what's there in the base. Sees some Zerkling, sees some Mulists. He's gonna try to scare Team Player into pulling his drones off the minerals. even though he doesn't have Radiate, team player, of course, doesn't know. Loses the Vessel there in the end, but the disruption of the minerals in the back there might just be enough. Just a tiny little thing might just be enough. He doesn't need the Vessel anyway, because he doesn't have Radiate yet. Although Radiate would, of course, help against the Mule Discs, but, you know, he doesn't need it, because he has a lot of Marines and tanks rolling in. Gonna end the game right here, right now. The Mules and the Zerglings gonna try to fight back the best they can. Team player is gonna try his hardest, but more units are on the way, and this ball of units here is growing pretty big. Goes from the side there, gets on top of the Marines. The Marines are taking down the Zerglings way too quick. The Mules are too small a number to really keep putting up much of a fight. Pushes through. Upgrades there on the Marine are not there. No upgrades on anything for both players, actually. And yeah, that is it. That is the game. Overall control wins the game with some solid Marine control and patience, although at some times he did kind of go in prematurely. Just a little bit too eager to end the game. Just a little bit too eager to try and kill Sunkens and Mule Discs. But in the end, with consistent macro, he wins the game, and team player falls flat on his face. Although he did put up a great fight. It mostly came down to team player shooting himself in the foot by putting 9 drones out of 21 on his gas instead of only 6. He had so much gas that he couldn't use because his minerals were too low. If he had a couple more minerals, he would have had a greater chance at winning the game, but it wasn't going to happen. Not if you don't have enough minerals. That's basically what it comes down to on fastest map. If you don't have the minerals, you are not going to win. Ever. That is a fact. So now, we have overall control taking over as the king of the hill, and he's playing against Soang Gisa. No idea who this guy is. Here on the Zerg, purple Zerg on the top left of the map. And Overroad here on the bottom middle of the map. On the pale green Protoss against the purple Zerg. Let's see what this guy has in store for us in his second game as the king of the hill. What is his Protoss going to show us? I've noticed that a lot of players have very differing styles of Protoss. I mean, there's of course, the top level players who always kind of have the same consistent Protoss that is, you know, proven to work. They follow the textbook manual. Whereas a lot of these somewhat unknown names, like Overroad Control, or whoever else is going to play Protoss after this, they have very differing build orders that I don't really see much, but which are honestly refreshing to see because they're so different. They make you think about, why does this work? Can I make it work? Just a breath of fresh air to see the diversity that you otherwise wouldn't really be seeing. So he's scouting only the chokes. He's doing that very greedy thing where he's trying to save out on time spent scouting by only going for the chokes. But that is just so happening to work out in favor of Soang Gisa, because Soang Gisa is not going for a choke. He's going for a triple hatchery and a pool there in the back in this corner, safe and sound, away from prying eyes, trying to figure out his secret plans for world domination. Or well, to become king of the hill. So the Zealot's gonna try and go for a second round of scouting, and the Probe is gonna go another round of scouting all the way back around the way it came from. This time it's going to do a good job. Although he finds the Overlord there, and the Overlord being there on the bottom corner of the map might imply that Soang Gisa is on the middle left or the top left of the map. Those are basically the only two options left. And I think Overroad Control knows this, because he's sending his Zealots to the top corner of the map. Some Zergers are leaving the base to try and scout to see where where Overroad Control is located, but he pulls them back. He's gonna sneak through. Got 2 Sunkens on the way there in the back. There's no gas yet. Soang Gisa is playing quite ballsy here as well. Got the gas there on the way finally at about 325. A little bit late, so let's start coming in, ready to snipe that Sunken. 5 Zealots, 1 Sunken. Zerglings are spawning just in time. Drones are trying to disrupt the Zealots from attacking the Sunken. Second Sunken finishes as well, but drones are being sniped and taken down. Although, the last 2 Zealots don't manage to kill another drone. So only 1 or 2 drones went down, and the Sunkens both stayed alive. So that's a very good exchange there for Soang, which leads me to believe this game might just go long. It might just become a long game. Next is number 2, finish for Overworld Control. We've got cannons on the way as well, and a Citadel of Doom. Most likely going for Zealot speed and gateway units, because, well, if you go for a Citadel this early on, if you don't get a Robo, then it has to be a Gateway Mass. And the Gateway Mass just so happens to be the correct answer to a non-choking Zerg. You don't go drops against a non-choking Zerg, because a non-choking Zerg is given all of the advantages of the build order, because the Zerg won't have to spend on defense, and the Zerg already skipped out on defense by not going for a choke. Though he's adding on 2 more Sunkens, so he's still getting some defensive units after all, because he has to defend against those Zealots going cross map trying to harass him. So basically, by going Gateway Mass, you force the Zerg to go for defensive units and defensive structures instead of getting a lot more drones, instead of getting a lot more hatcheries. Basically, if Overworld Control can keep up the pressure at adequate levels, Soang shouldn't be allowed to drone up much more or to grow much bigger. Though he's doing something cheeky here with some Zerglings here back at home in Overroad's base. Gonna, of course, keep him there for scouting. It's very useful, because if you send one of those Zerglings into scout periodically, you will probably lose them, but you get so much useful information. You can see which structures are there, you can see the timing of the robotic facility, if they do go for a robotic facility, you can see whether upgrades are spinning and making or not, which is also a huge piece of information. So yeah, those Zerglings there are going to be really beneficial for Soang. Lair's finished, Spire's on the way, no high-risk den on the way. Most of the times the Zerg will go for mass Hydras when they go for non-choke build orders, but Soang is going for Mutalisks, and that is a switch-up that I really like. Zerglings with Mutalisks, and because Overworld Control is going for mostly Zealots, he's mixing in some Dragoons now as well. He's got Dragoon range and Dragoons queued up in those gateways. Soang didn't scout it, he's... Kills Pylon in the choke there. He's got something. Zealot speed is finished. Level 1 attack also soon finishing up for Overroad. He's getting a couple more hatcheries and a Highless Den as well now. About 1300, 1400 gas. So, oh, he's got Lurker aspect on the way. So Lurkers with Mutalisk is probably on the recipe, well, on the menu. Probably on the menu for the day. Dragoons have arrived there in the front. Overlord goes down. That might hurt him a little bit. It isn't supply blocked, but losing an Overlord is never fun. Ooh, this is a lot of units in your space. 114 supply on 48 probes. That's a lot of army. With a lot of Zergs as well, and the Zergs are almost successfully blocking the Zealots from getting into the base. Also, a single drone there blocking the path there on the top side. Now being put on the minerals. The Zergs are doing a great job, and he forces Overroad to pull back away from the base into the choke point there, lick his wounds, and wait for reinforcements. But the Mutalisks have finished, and I don't think Soang knows that the Spire was there in the back. I don't think he knows, although he's adding a lot of cannons now just as a safety precaution, so maybe he did see the Spire with one of those loose Zerg Zealots that made its way into the base. He was going for a counterattack, he's not going to use them to defend, although he gets spotted out there as well, so now Overworld Control is in fact pulling back his Dragoons. Is he pulling them back to his base, or just keeping them here in the front? Keeping them there in the front. Mutalisks coming in. Mutalisks gonna go straight for the cannons there. More Mutalisks are coming in to kill the cannons. Although he's pulling back, he doesn't want to try, because the cannons finished just in time before the Mutalisks could really become effective. Instead, now he's forced to pull back to his base, because the army of Overroad just grew another size bigger. And he goes in again to try and kill So Bangisa, there's no Templars in the mix, so no worries for his drones, but this is a lot of Dragoons and Zealots getting on top of all the Sunkens. Hydras are spawning, Mutas coming back to base, Mutas getting on top of the Dragoons, but the Dragoons are doing pretty well against those Mutas, so the Muta count is pretty damn high. So the Mutas, alongside with the Lurkers and the Sunkens, are gonna win this fight for sure. No detection yet from overall control. It looks like the Gateway Mask strategy isn't exactly working out this time around. Usually it has a lot of success, but Sobangisa is playing this like an absolute monster. Chasing overall control out of his base, into the middle, still attacking those Dragoons. Dragoons are fighting back now though, so he pulls back to his base there, preserves those Mutas. So yeah, Sobangisa is honestly impressing me so far, because this is very difficult to do. He isn't making it look very difficult because he's doing everything perfectly so far. He's perfectly playing his units, perfectly placing his units, perfectly moving on the map, and perfectly blocking access to his Sunkens there in the back. And because he has so much gas, he realizes that, you know what, I don't have to mine gas anymore for now, although now he's restarting it, but he didn't mine gas for I think about a minute, because he had so much gas that he realized I might as well take them off the gas, boost up my minerals a bit with those 12 drones that I used to have on the gas, and leapfrog myself a little bit further ahead by constructing some extra hatcheries, a queen's nest, and some evo chambers. Very good optimization choices there from Sobangisa. I still don't have an idea who this guy is, but I might have a feeling he might be Kang Tae-wan, because he's playing like Kang Tae-wan. But he might not be. He might be someone else. I'm just really liking how this guy plays Zerg. He shows great control and great decision making. Team player there balling up in the middle. We have a lot of gateways here from Overroad. We've got shuttle coming in as well with the robotics. First going for observers though, although there's only one drop here out of the map. Gonna try to land a drop with this one. There's overalls on the side for Sobangisa, so he will spot this out without a doubt. Comes in, although there's nothing in between to intercept it. This might get ugly. Drones are not running away. Templar's gonna elope, they're on the scene. Drones are running away just in time. The Templar can't storm. Templar can storm. So the drones all stay alive without really taking any serious damage. That's... oh, another drop comes in at the same time. He misses the storm. He missed the storm. Oh, he's a lucky man. He is a lucky man. The game could have been over right there and then, because he only had 150 minerals in total. And he would have lost, I think, about 30 or so drones to the storm if it hadn't missed. But now there's 100 supply difference between the two players, as Sobangisa is facing a massive army coming into the front door there from Overroad control. But there's so many Hydras and Lurkers in the front that he's actually unable to break through despite the massive supply difference. Despite the 100 supply difference, Sobangisa has the advantage of terrain. There's a small choke point leading into a wide open area where Sobangisa has his units spread around that choke point, meaning that a lot of his units can fight against a very small amount of units from Overroad control, as Overroad's control is bottlenecking in this pathway. Overroad is doing an amazing job with his macro though. Consistently on very high APM, this guy he's really good. I am impressed, but Sobangisa is leaving me even more impressed as he's playing Zerg and doing it really well without choking up. Without choking up that bottleneck in the front, he's defending himself, though I might have spoken out of turn, because now a lot of units coming into the front door here from Overroad, although Sobangisa is pulling his units from the back to the front, and once again is using the advantage of a bottleneck here in the front to basically win himself the fight. I hope so, because a lot of his Hydras are going down. Dragoons are mostly just blocking each other here in the front. Only about 4 or 5 or 7 Dragoons at a time can attack. So yeah, the terrain advantage did helps Soang out a lot, but he does get pushed back into his base in the end nonetheless. But now Zerglings and Riders coming from the back to the front from Soang, and I think he's gonna defend this one successfully. A lot of those Zerglings getting on top of the Dragoons, and Dragoons don't really fare too well against large groups of Zerglings. As those Zerglings get around on those Dragoons, they really start tearing those Dragoons another one. Really start tearing them another one. So now 120 supply. Supply is slowly growing little step by little step. It used to be a 100 supply difference, now it's down to about a 70 supply difference. Very slowly the gap is closing. But overall control is really doing an amazing job with the amount of pressure he's putting on Soang. It is a non-stop pressure that is never ending, ever, never ending. Which means it's time for thumbnail here. I think this is a nice thumbnail. It's not too crowded, not too action-packed, but it shows some stuff that might just make for a fun thumbnail. Who knows? I might go for another one as the game goes on. Yeah, the fight here really is continuous. It really is non-stop, and that is exactly what Overroad has to do. Because it becomes very difficult for Soang to mass and max out. He's just constantly bleeding supply into those Dragoons, into that army in the front. And as time goes on, Overroad Control will get more opportunities to try and land a Storm Drop just as this shuttle gets in. It gets in all the way, starts alone, he doesn't get the Storm. He didn't get the Storm. Way too close for comfort. Soang manages to stay upright. The workers morphing there in the back. Once they go to the front, it should be an easy hold. Also, those two observers there are within a vision, and they do both get sniped by Scorches, which should allow those lurkers in the back there to really keep Overroad out of space, because Overroad is just now, right as those observers both go down, successfully breaking through the front door. And those lurkers are actually Soang last hope. They are his last hope. Overroad Control tries to crawl himself into the bottom corner there, but actually takes so much damage that those Dragoons and units would have probably been better to pull back into the base. But the drop comes in there, dodges the drop again. Drop shuttle also goes down again. Soang really is playing absolutely amazing here. He really is playing... This is just really amazing Zerg. This is really good Zerg. This is really difficult to do. What Soang is doing here is really extraordinarily impressive. Non-choke Zerg against a Protoss that is as good as Overroad is really impressive. Overroad is a really good Protoss. You can just see from how consistent he is with his production, his macro, his micro, he's also dropping at the same time, he's building his base at the same time, he's playing really solid. And for Soang to stay alive under these very Spartan-like conditions is leaving me without words to describe it. Very good frontal lurker defense there against this Dragoon mass. Dragoons having a real struggle walking through this bottleneck into Soang base. But I do think that Overroad has really good upgrades compared to Soang. Actually, the upgrades are somewhat similar. Almost maxed out upgrades for both players. Now the Dragoons making their way into the base. Drop comes in as well. Drop is not intercepted. Drop gets slowed down by an ensnare. Drones are trying to run away the best they can. The shuttle is not unloading. There's actually nothing in the back to kill the shuttles. This is actually really unfortunate for Soang, as the shuttle is just going to hang there. And the shuttle is actually empty. I think Soang catched on that the shuttle is empty. There's nothing in there. But while he was distracted in the back, the front has entirely been overrun by Overroad, who's now walking and crawling into the base, going to take down everything here on the side. Overlords, the advanced tech, everything here on the side is in danger of going down. A lot of units are spawning. Units are going to try to get us around on the Dragoons in the top corner, but at the same time, the front is going to take it down as well. There's no observer in the front though, and also no lurkers in the front, so actually he doesn't need the observers. Yeah, he takes everything down there on the top corner. But now everything in the front is being taken down by more reinforcements coming in. A non-stop line of units walking across the map into Soang Gisa's choke point. And slowly, like a tug of war, he's winning the fight little bit by little bit, taking small bits of land from Soang Gisa and claiming it as his own. Not a drop there on the top corner, coming in 3 shuttles this time around. Soang Gisa's not responding to it. Shuttle's gonna unload there right on top of the drones. Drones are not really pulling away safely. Oh no! That's about 30 drones dead and gone. The very last thing Soang Gisa needed, because he's gonna need all the money he can earn, all the money he has and can get to keep up with the non-stop production from Overroad, who's still doing an amazing job in the front. The fight is still ongoing, but now there's a very massive supply lead once again in favor of Overroad. A 100 supply difference that this time around I don't think Soang Gisa can keep up with. I just don't think he can keep up with this supply difference. The macro from Overroad is really completely insane. It's just a non-stop stream of units coming across the map, sending themselves into battle for glory to take down this very worthy adversary, Soang Gisa. This is actually a really great match performance for both players. I've said it many times, but I'm just so amazed. Yeah, he comes in once again. Templars are balling up. There's a lot of Templars, and this is going to be a lot of storms to take down whatever Soang Gisa can send at him. Whatever Soang Gisa can send to defend, it's going to get stormed to death. As you can see right there, the storms are plentiful. In the end, though, they're morphing into Archons. Probes are being sacrificed for more supply space. Stone count now still on 49. Soang Gisa is really struggling to produce, as he can produce, because his money is so low. He pulled most of his drones from the gas onto his minerals because he has a lot of gas. He doesn't need more gas at the moment. He needs more minerals. But he simply cannot produce. He simply cannot use his larvae. He's got so many larvae not being used because he can't use them. He doesn't have the money. The probes are actually assisting with the fight. Small little bits of damage coming out from those probes. Lurkers there in the back still doing a great job of holding Overroad back. But Overroad's army is just balling up, growing bigger and bigger as a non-stop stream of everything just completely overpowers Soang Gisa in the end. Soang Gisa played amazing though. But all it took was that one single screw up with a drop, and Overroad took home the W. And I'm not even mad, because Overroad earned it. He earned it with very strong gameplay. It's very impressive what he did right there. Very good control and micro. And very good multitasking as well. Didn't really make any mistakes at all from start to finish. Alright, so now we're going to look at one other match. Overroad is still the king of the hill. He's entering his 3rd game. And I think he's going to be on the Zerg. Not sure. I might have seen it wrong. But let's get into it. Yeah, he's on the Zerg. Overroad control is on the Zerg. On the top middle of the map. Against the player TLS RKDC JF23. He's gonna call him TLS. TLS you on the bottom middle as the olive green Terran against the blue Zerg. That is Overroad control. Overroad control has so far shown himself to be a really strong opponent. I wish I knew who the guy was. I don't know who the guy is, but I really wish I did, because he's really good. Is TLS good enough though to put up a good fight? To put up a fight worthy of his opponent, Overroad, the king of the hill. So Overroad, they are going for a non-choke bold order. He's getting abused by a bunker. From SCV trying to build a bunker. Marines also arriving on the scene. Pool is not finished yet. Pool finishes just in time. Zerglings are on the way. No speed on those Zerglings yet, because of course he's got to morph that first, and he doesn't have any gas at the moment. And yeah, the bunker is gonna finish. SCV stays alive, but might get taken down there by some crisp drone control. The rest of it arrives on the scene. Marines also coming cross map to enter the bunker as soon as they can. But there's already Zerglings on the bunker, and TLS is unable to repair it. Which of course means TLS is going to have to pull back to his own base and stay safe from harm. Well, let's see what's going on there on the bottom side. Yeah, he's got 2 barracks. He's got engineering bay there, a factory on the way. Stim upgrade as well, because Zergling speed being researched there for Overroad. Overroad also splitting his Zerglings up towards every single spot on the map to scout as fast as he can. It's one of the small little advantages a Zerg has. You can very cheaply scout for 300 minerals, for 150 minerals, make 6 Zerglings, and scout the entire map in a single movement by splitting them all up. Very convenient. Lair on the way. Hatchery number 4 also on the way. Zergling speed is about halfway done. He still keeps on making Zerglings, sending them out into the middle of the map, going to try to get us around on Marines when they do try to leave the base, but Firebats are on the way for TLS. He's playing it pretty smart. But the fact he only has 2 barracks, of course, means that he won't be that well equipped in terms of numbers against a very large army of Zerglings. Although the army of Zerglings is not that big yet. Looks like Overroad is going to take a little bit more time. Got a Den on the way. Lair almost finished. Looks like he's going for Lurkers. Marines are coming in there from Overroad. Overroad gets on top of the Marines, gets on top of the Firebats, but the Firebats just mow down the Zerglings without any trouble whatsoever. Took down the entire Zergling mass in the blink of an eye with stimmed Firebats. The Firebats just the natural enemy of Zerglings. They really just take them down in 2 shots. It's amazing to watch. So now he has 1 sunken. A lot of Zerglings there as well, though. Now there's a small little chance for Overroad here that if TLS decides to fight into that 1 sunken, he can get a pretty great surround there with the Zerglings from behind, from the sides, to kill the Firebats and the Marines. There's 4 medics in the mix. He's looking for a fight. Goes in for the left side. Zerglings are there on the left side. He'll try to go in for the drones. He's going to try to go in. He's going to try to pick off that Den. If the Den goes down, it is GG for Overroad, because he's banking on Lurkers. Overroad has to go in right now while those Marines are fighting and killing the Den. The Den gets saved. Firebats couldn't even fight back. Firebats got shut down very quick. And now the game is up in the air because Overroad is in a very good position here to kill TLS. TLS has a couple of Marines there trying to get out, but they're just gonna be thrown into the Den of Wolves. And now TLS has no units left. No units left back at home. He really went for a gamble. He thought he had more power, but it turns out he just threw away the game. I think he just threw away the game. He's got no Firebats on the way, even though he needs Firebats to survive. He really needs Firebats. He's got Marines there in the back. The Marines don't do that well against Zerglings. Lurkers are being morphed. They're back at home. They're inside of Overroad's base. Lurker S-Pack finished just in time. He managed to save the Den with 120 HP. It was a great choice to go for the all-in attack there. All those Marines get surround. TLS really overstepped his ability. He really overstepped what he was capable of. He thought he had it. He thought he had it. It just didn't work out. There's no detection at all. No detection anywhere from TLS. He's getting a science facility. He's getting an engineering bay, but both are not yet finished. And he needs those turrets and science vessels now. Because Lurkers are going to come in from the front door with the mass amount of Zerglings to support them. Lurker's going to burrow up right in between all those structures. A couple of them burrowing up quite far away by accident. He's getting on top of everything. Turret there in the back is on the way, but there's no turrets protecting the SUV, so he's going to run all the way around. And actually burrow up right there next to the tank, next to the bunker, but there's nothing inside the bunker. There's nothing to protect the tank. The tanks go down. There's actually now nothing to kill the Lurkers as well, because all the tanks have gone down, so that only the tanks could safely kill the Lurkers. Now it looks like Overroad is overrunning TLS space, getting Lurkers on every single little spot in the base. Every single part of the base is covered and attacked by Lurkers, and the Lurkers burrow up right next to the SCVs, and TLS calls G, leaves the game. And Overroad stays the king of the hill. Overroad is still our king of the hill. It was an exciting, quick Zerg against Terran, and kind of fun to see a Zerg win with somewhat of an all-in Zergling Lurker strategy, although it was kind of facilitated by TLS overreaching a little bit too far and losing all his units when he could not afford to lose them. That means we're going into the final game of this King of the Hill set. We got Overroad control against Cham Kyoyuk. In the past, in 2019 and 2018, Hamburger Sasu himself used the name Cham Kyoyuk, but he no longer does, so now it's someone else using the name. I just don't know who it is that's using the name. So let's see what we've got in store. We've got a cross map, Terran against Zerg. We got Overroad again on the Zerg. We've got Cham Kyoyuk on the Protoss. It's not a Terran against Zerg, it's Protoss against Zerg. Alright, alright. But Cham Kyoyuk, I've got very high expectations, because Cham Kyoyuk is kind of like slang for the true teacher, or the true teachings. So he's going to show us the true teachings of the Protoss against Overroad, who's so far proven himself to be an exceptionally strong player. An exceptionally strong player. What is Cham Kyoyuk going to show us? What does he have in store? What are his plans? What does he have on his mind? What is his secret weapon against Overroad? Goes for a Nexus. Alright, alright. It's looking a little bit standard so far for both players. Overroad is not going for a non-choke build order, but goes for a choke build order. So of course he's gonna play this very safe. Unlike the previous games, he's not planning on taking any risks. He doesn't have the balls that Chobangiza had. Chobangiza really had massive cojones. Actually, triple Nexus here from Cham Kyoyuk. He's gonna have a massive economy. His economy is going to be the biggest we've seen so far in this series. Double gateway as well, cannon there just for safety. Triple gateway. I like this. This is a very big investment for Cham Kyoyuk. He's going to be pretty much max out on supply at about 7 or 8 minutes in. If he wishes to. He can max out at 7 or 8 minutes on this build order. It's very strong after the early game. The early game is pretty weak. You're kind of just sitting there back at home, a sitting duck, giving your opponent some time to, you know, drone up, grow bigger, get hatcheries. And that's exactly what Overroad is doing. Gets 4 hatcheries in total added onto his main. Only a single sunken in the front, because he knows he doesn't need a second or third one yet. He can make it in like another minute or so. So yeah, he's taking some liberties. He's taking some liberties by playing it, well, within the boundaries of what's possible, but just on the edge. Just on the edge. He's trying to get as much out of it as he can. Side of course finished for Cham Kyoyuk. Zealots are chasing some Zerglings that are being annoying, getting information, running back and forth, trying to get the sighting of the timing of the robotics, the Citadel maybe. He just wants to know the timings. He sees the Citadel coming up, and he sees the level 1 attack being resurged. That gives him a lot of information to prepare with, because this pretty much means that Cham Kyoyuk is gonna try to go for a front bust with level 1 attack and zealot speed. That's pretty much what he is planning to go for. Which of course means that Overroad can start building sunkens in the front to, well, stop Cham Kyoyuk from breaking through. It's pretty much the entire plan. Cham Kyoyuk is making a lot of gateways though. A lot of gateways. Which might just mean that we might see him max out very early on into the game. Already on 42 probes. A triple Nexus really makes you a lot of money very quickly. We're not even 5 minutes into the game. and over than 44 probes. It's very, very quick. And we're also looking at 3, 5, 8 gateways in total. He's getting a choke as well, just to be safe. Dragoon range also on the way. There's a cyber robotics somewhere on the way. Robotics is somewhere on the way there in the front. Actually, that's not cannons. I thought it was cannons. It looks like cannons, but it's actually a robo. So robo there in the front. Gateway number 10 being added on. The supply is going up very quick. We got an Overlord from Overroad going down here. So there's no Overlord control from Overroad. Maybe because his name is not Overlord, but Overroad. He cannot control his Overlords that well, but you know, you never know. So 4 robotics in the front. This is like just going all out on steroids macro. 57 probes. So even before we hit 6 minutes, he will have 60 probes. That is very quick. Overroad though, also taking a lot of liberties. Now in 40 drones, has 6 hatcheries added on there in the back, 1 in the front and the main as well. We've got Hydra's Den finishing up just now. Getting speed first, range second. Got a Queen's Nest and a Spire also on the way. 50 drones now. Both players just getting as many workers as they can to get as rich as they can before the conflict starts. But there's still a supply difference of about 50, yeah, about 50 at the moment. You got speed, range, scarab damage, got Reavers on the way as well. Cham is getting everything at the same time. Every single thing at the same time, except Temple's Archive. He's got double support bay. That's actually pretty smart. That's actually pretty smart. So double support bay so we can get range and scarab damage at the same time. Not something I've seen before. Usually people always get just one robo support bay and then they get speed and then damage. He's getting both of them at the same time. I kind of like it. This is a lot of gateways. He's just going all out of macro. I really like this. This is, you don't often see a player go all out of macro like this on the Korean map, but Cham is doing it. Still, the amount of Sunkens in the front is kind of low, only 6 Sunkens, but yeah, it looks like Cham is going for a mass Reaver drop. Maybe he's going to land those Reavers in the front. Really 2 options, really. You land them in the front to break down the front, or you land them in the base to take down something in the base. You got Mutas flying across the map, hunting for something to kill, but not really able to find anything. We got some Dragoons on the side to limit the amount of vision that Overroad has. Got some Dragoons joining that other Dragoon to kill even more Overlords. I like it. The Mutas are going to hunt something there in the back, but Cham saw the Mutas, so he has a lot of cannons coming up in the back. We have a Hive on the way for Cham He's just going for advanced tech straight up. Yeah, the Mutas arrive in the base there and fly into a lot of cannons. A lot of cannons, so many that he turns tail, flies away. He wants none of that. Wisely so, you don't want any of those cannons killing your Mutas. We have an ensnare on the way. Overroad is getting everything he can. I really like this. But now we got a mass frontal attack that's coming in from Cham and when there's only 6 finished Sunkens there, he's adding on 4 more for a total of 10, but the Reavers are already landing there on the low ground, ready to break down the front door, and there's not that many units there for Cham or for Overroad control to fight back. He's got some Hydras, but not that many. He's got some units, but not that many. He might have played this a little bit too risky. Mutas getting on top of the Reavers, going to try to take down those Reavers, but Dragoons are there in the back as well to support and take down those Mulists. The Reavers are going down pretty quick there though. Reavers are coming in. Items are coming in from the front door to save the day there, getting on top of those Zealots, but the Zealots do have their upgrades. Level 1 attack there on the Dragoons. Dragoons doing a really great job there against the Hydras. Because the Hydras don't have any upgrades, the Hydras coming in from the back and running to the front as fast as they can. He's trying to macro as best as he can, but the Dragoons are stronger here, I believe. Got a drop there, flying across the map as well. Storm Brigade is not yet finished, but there's a Reaver inside that shuttle, and the Reaver will probably land on the ground there, back in the base there from Overroad, who's sending all of his units to the front. There's nothing in the back to defend. Everything is slightly off center, away from the main, and Overroad is exposed to Reaver coming in the back there. Starts to fly away with the drones. Reaver changes direction right next to the drones. Drones are gonna get taken down. The Scarab doesn't explode. The Scarab goes and doesn't kill anything. Oh, there's a second Reaver. Is the Scarab gonna hit? The Scarab is not gonna hit. Oh my god, 2 Scarabs not hitting the drones. He is so lucky. Although you kind of know how the game mechanic works, but still, that's kind of lucky. That's a little bit lucky that 2 Scarabs right next to the drones don't explode for the entire 4 or 5 second duration that a Scarab is alive. But don't relax just yet. 1 shuttle on the bottom side, or 5 shuttles on the top side. And there's units coming in from the front, shuttles coming in from the sides. Drones are running away. Where are they going to? We got a Templar there, 1 Templar, 2 Templars. Storm finishes just a little bit too late, but now we've got a lot of units here in the back. Drones are running to the front. Drones are returning. Oh no, the drones are returning a little bit too early. I think there's still another Templar there, and one of those shuttles. He's running away once again. He's running away once again. There's the shuttle with the Reaver. Reaver shoots. Reaver kills it. Oh, he killed a lot of them. And now the unit is unloading in the back there as well. There's no Templar in there, just some Zealots. But Cham took down, I think, about 18 drones in total with the Scarab hit. The Scarab hit was bigger and stronger than I anticipated. And now Overroad is broke. He's got no money, basically. Got no money. He's defending himself really well here in the front, though. Because Cham has no buildings on the middle. He's going all the way across the map. I think that might be a rule in all of Humber Kasasu's events, where he doesn't allow you to build on the middle as Protoss. I kind of like it. It kind of makes Protoss a little bit weaker, because it is already so damn strong. He's going across the map. 2 shuttles there with inside some Reavers and more Reavers. Are there any upgrades finished yet for Overroad? Level 1-1 on the Hydras. We've got level 1-1-2 on the Dragoons. The Reavers have Scarab damage, and I think capacity upgrade as well. I can't see it though. Guards there on the hill. There's only 5 Sunkens, 6 Sunkens there with some Guardians. I don't think that's going to be enough to hold this back. And he just got stormed as well. I missed it, but he just got stormed, lost all of his drones. Scourges came out a little bit too late to snipe the shuttles. He might hold this here in the front, but does it matter? He has 7 drones and 1 Sunken in the front. 7 drones, 1 Sunken, 240 minerals, now 200, now 72, now 80. Oh yeah, this is gonna be GG. I think that Overroad knows that the game is over. He just finished, I think, about 25 drones, but another drop there comes in. Reaver on the low ground. Reaver shoots. Reaver finishes off all the drones that were there. Just rebuild, and Cham wins the final game to become the king of the hill. Although I do think Overall Control, with 3 wins in total, is the definitive king of the hill in the end. He is the definitive king. But Cham here with a very strong performance, with a very strong Protoss, and some very good dropping work, and a very strong macro style. He's just very rich. And he became very rich very quick. Really well played there from both players, but Cham with a pretty solid Protoss there. Pretty solid stuff. I would have loved to see Overall Control take this game to the distance, to make it a long game, but he just made some very small timing mistakes. Even though he played so well, some very small timing and awareness mistakes that ended up costing him the game. Well played, but it wasn't enough. But that's it for today. It was RGB for RGB TV with a very long King of the Hill video. So we're already on almost 70 minutes. This just got a lot longer than I thought. I didn't even notice that the game was going on, that the video was going on for so long, but almost 70 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit different from the usual. I hope you liked the change of pace. So yeah, goodbye. Have a good day.